Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something that looks pretty simple when you drive by a construction site, but in reality, it's one of the most challenging operations in bridge engineering, lifting PCI girders. If you've ever thought it's just about picking them up and setting them down, think again. Lifting a PCI girder is like conducting an orchestra. It takes planning, precision, and teamwork. PCI girders are massive precast, pre-stressed concrete beams. They're strong, they're efficient, and they allow us to build bridges faster. But the process of getting them from the trailer onto the piers, that's where the real engineering magic and risk happen. Before we dive into the unique challenges, let's give everyone some context. What makes PCI girders so popular in bridge projects today? Well, there are three main reasons. First, they precast in a controlled factory environment, so the quality is more consistent than casting on site. Second, pre-stressing them gives higher strength and less deflection, which means they can span longer distances. And third, they speed up construction because once they arrive on site, the main task is just erecting them. And that's where lifting comes in, where all the safety, schedule, and cost pressures collide at once. So let's break this down. What makes lifting PCI girders different from other lifting operations? There are several things that make PCI girders lifting unique. Let's go through them all. First, the dimensions and camber. These girders aren't just heavy, they're extremely long, up to 25 to 40 meters. Plus they're cambered, meaning they're curving upward. That makes the center of gravity tricky. If your lifting points aren't perfectly calculated, the girder can tilt. Secondly, the sail effect. Because they're long and slim, the wind can push through them around like a sail on a ship. A sudden gust can turn a controlled lift into a dangerous swing. Thirdly, precision on placement. You're setting an 80-ton beam onto a bearing pad the size of a notebook. We're talking about tolerances in millimeters. One small error can cause long-term structural issues. Fourth, crane versus launcher. Depending on the site, you might use cranes or a girder launcher system. Cranes are flexible but limited by ground conditions and radius. Launchers are specialized equipment that can slide or lift girders across spans, which is great when cranes can't reach. Fifth, tandem lifts. Sometimes one crane isn't enough. You need two. That means two operators, two set of riggers, and everything has to move in perfect synchronization. If one crane lifts faster than the other, the girder can crack. And finally, temporary stability. Just because the girder is placed doesn't mean the job is over. Until the diaphragm concrete is poured, you need tie-downs or restraints to keep the girder from moving due to wind or traffic vibrations. So in short, it's not just a heavy lift, it's a heavy lift plus aerodynamics, plus millimeter accuracy, plus coordination. What are the biggest challenges teams usually face during PCI girder erection? Three things stand out. First, the weather. Wind is the number one risk factor. Even moderate gusts can push the girder. Ground conditions. Cranes exert huge ground-bearing pressures, sometimes hundreds of tons on one outrigger. Without proper mats and soil checks, you risk settlement or even tipping. And lastly, human factors. You need flawless communication. One designated signaler, clear radios, and everyone on the same page. Miscommunication is one of the top causes of accidents. Have you ever seen a situation where something almost went wrong? Well, on one project, a gust of wind hit during a tandem lift. The girder started to sway, but because we had two tank lines and trained spotters, we controlled it. Another time, alignment was off by just 5 millimeters. That might sound small, but with concrete bearings, it's huge. We had to carefully reset the girder before grouting. It was stressful, but it proved the importance of precision. So to wrap this up, lifting PCI girders isn't just about heavy equipment. It's about engineering precision, teamwork, and safety culture. It is an orchestra with each role playing in harmony. And if you want to go deeper into this, rigging design, crane stability, tandem lift practices, launcher methods, we cover all of that in our upskilling classes at FDP Consulting.